What's up, guys? It's your buddy Jason from AIPTcomics.com, AdventuresInPoorTaste.com, if you're not into the whole brevity thing, host of the Adventures in Pod Taste podcast, and the man with the biggest beard in comics. That's probably not true. Anyway, we're back again today for something near and dear to my heart, near and dear to your heart, I'm sure. It's another Lego build video where we're going to be doing something for Avengers Endgame. So, quick warning, there might be a mild spoiler in this set. That happens a lot with Legos and just toys in general for these sorts of things. I gotta be honest, it's not gonna be anything plot significant, really. But if you are that kind of person who just can't handle hearing anything about this movie before it comes out, don't watch the latest trailer and hit the like button. Go check us out at AdventuresInPoorTaste.com and then watch some of our other videos here on YouTube. It's a good thing to do. Support the channel. Anyway, if you're not a baby and are willing to accept that I'm not purposely antagonizing part of our audience, then spoilers incoming in 3, 2, 1. That's right, it is a War Machine Hulkbuster set from Lego. It's a cute little set, about 363 pieces, comes with a couple of different minifigures. We've got, of course, James Rhodey Rhodes. You can't do a War Machine set without Rhodey. We've got Scott Lang Ant-Man, and 2 different versions of the Outrider, you know, the putty bad guys that Thanos kind of throws wave after wave of at people. We got the four-armed version and the Wolverine claw version, which I don't recall seeing that one in there, but I guess they didn't get a whole ton of screen time in Infinity War. Anyway, there's some cool stuff here. Of course, we've got a shoulder-mounted Gatling gun, as is the want of Mr. James Rhodey Rhodes, because big guns somehow make it better than lasers. I don't know why he bothered to add that nonsense. It feels like regressive technology. Over here we got some other rockets. He's got some hand-mounted lasers. He's got a chest laser, it looks like. He might also be able to fling a little minifig out into the world, but I was fooled by the spider crawler. I don't want to be hurt again, so I'm not going to put my hopes up too high. Grabbing claws, stomping legs. Looks like a fun little set. Should be a quick build. So why don't you guys take a deep breath, grab a drink, and check it out while I build this thing. Alright, gang, so here we are about a half hour later. Got to finish the build. It's a really fun one, a lot of articulated pieces, a lot of bits where you're not really sure what you're working on, but then you actually kind of get to see the result product and you're kind of like, oh wow, that was really cool. So that's a fun element to this, but it's a better look at the box. As you can see, you get a better look at the figures, the Outriders, Ant-Man, and War Machine. Some of the more imposing art of it. I will gladly say that all of the things you see firing here do in fact fire, and I'll show you that in a minute. And let's take a look at the back. Spoiler alert. Get to see the cannon, the missiles and just a bit of it. I will say that, much like Spider-Crawler, this doesn't happen. Lies. He does not just shoot from the chest like that. But you know what? Let's talk about these things with you actually getting a glimpse of them. So ready? Without further ado, the Dow. Here is our finalized product coming out of this build. Let's start from the minifigs and look at the Outriders. So the Outriders, again, they're the mutant alien army of Thanos. They're just, cannon fodder, red shirts. So there's a good amount of detail here, but unless you are a super crazy movie art nerd, I don't know that you really are going to have too much of an opinion on them. They just exist so that your Avengers have somebody to beat up, because there is no Thanos in this set. This one is the more basic of the two, with his punk rock Mad Max style single shoulder pad with spikes and his Wolverine claws. That's just sort of him. The more interesting of the two is the four-armed version. I gave him the extra claw because it was one of the extra pieces on there, and it felt like, why not? You can see his face is just a touch different. Body remains the same, but he's wearing this backpack that has a connection for the arms. And of course, that means that the arms are all articulated and movable, which is kind of cool. Just, little neat bad guy for Scott and Rhodey to beat up. So, that's him. Let's go on to Ant-Man. Scott Lang. This is him in his Paul Rudd hair, looking effortless and smirky, as most white guys in the Marvel movies tend to do. So it's not like the best looking version of Paul Rudd I've seen, which, it's a Lego, what do I expect? But when we take off his hair, we can put him in his helmet, which is how I'm assuming most people are going to keep him. And then now I can see that that's Ant-Man. Always thought it was funny that Ant-Man is supposed to be the smallest character, but he has to wear this big, stupid helmet. So he always has the biggest head of any of your minifigs. It kind of kills it when he's when he's bigger than Captain America, I guess I should say. So boom, that's Ant-Man. And let's take a look at the man of the hour, James Rhodey Rhodes. You can see he gets this little backpack thing. You can equip a blaster there so he can look a little War Machine-y. He doesn't have a full armor suit, but then again, I guess they don't create a full armor suit for the Iron Man minifigs either, so it's kind of keeping. He too gets the big head treatment, but his is kind of neat because his helmet pops up, and you can see, bloop, there's a tactical Rhodey. He's one of those figures that is double-sided though, so if you don't want to have him wearing his helmet for whatever reason, you get just normal smiling Rhodey over here. Hey Tony, you should be more serious. That sort of thing. Still kind of neat. You can take the backpack and that off, obviously, which I'm about to do because I want him to ride the Hulkbuster, and he can't really fit when he's got his backpack. So let's put him aside for now and get him ready for the main event. So yeah, here's Hulkbuster Armor for War Machine. Kind of cool. Like I said in the beginning portion, ton of articulated points. Look at the feet alone. You can separate the toes on this thing. It's kind of neat. So he's very posable, although he's top heavy, so he's not the most functional. The legs are on these weird sort of locking slide joints, but there also is a ball hinge so they can move like that. It's not one that I've seen, but it does allow him a greater sense of stability and makes him more standable than I would have expected, given, again, the fact that he's this top heavy. So looking at the arms, again, super posable. You can pose each individual finger if you feel like it. And his thumb, too. Graspers. He's got a laser cannon on his hand that can fire. I'm going to try and prevent that thing from going. See? yeah, I lose so many of these little pieces doing these videos. My dog has probably eaten 12 of them at this point. The other hand does it as well. I should note, I showed you Rhodey's backpack with the laser cannon. He only comes with these two in the set. That was one that I had from the Spider-Verse build. So just something for your own edification. Should that matter for you, you'll only have these two blasters. So you'll have to take them off of the wrist, which is easy enough if you want to give one of the guys a laser cannon. Oh man, these things don't ever stay in place. Now let's look at the chest piece, because that's where the money happens. Not really. You can bloop, pop up the helmet, bloop, bloop, pop up the pauldrons, pull aside the chest piece, and then oh well, shoot. Yeah, it has you build this little power core thing to sit right here in the middle in the chest cavity, which I guess is fine when you're when you don't have anybody in there. But let's say I want my man Rhodey to pilot. He fits neatly in here. Let's close up shop around him and blah. Yeah, now he can take on the bad guys in his regular war machine or in his mini war machine. More Hulkbuster War Machine, I guess this is. Sorry. So many words, so hard to put them together. You got these cool decals that you put on. I'm not 100% in love with the way that I placed some of them. I feel like these guys in particular are messed up on, but, you know, that's on me, not on the build itself. Although if you just put the pieces with them on there, guys. No, I love you, Lego. Keep sending me stuff. Now let's talk about his shoulder cannons. The missile cannon is pretty basic because, you know, what else can you do with it? They don't launch much like the rotary gun will, and I'll show you that in a second. These are more just like you gotta, you know, shoot them with your finger. But, you know, they're still kind of neat. What I like about these is they're a lot easier to track because they're big and not these little dinky bullet pieces. So the dinky bullet pieces, though, are part of the coolest feature of this, and that is the real working Gatling gun. You can see you had to build this little rotor for it, and you can load all of these up. I guess that's the good thing about that power core. There's 8 of these guys on there, so it's just a good reload for your ammunition when you inevitably lose these things or your dog ends up eating them because you lost them and you're a bad owner. I'm not a bad owner. I love my dog. Anyway, let's give you guys a quick show. Boom, 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 boom. All right, I hope I can find those again. So yeah, that's War Machine Hulkbuster. Really fun build. Some cool stuff I was able to put together out of this. Didn't take a whole lot of time. And I feel like if you are working with children who like to do very like articulated like erector set style puzzles, this is a good one for them. Totally recommend it. It's getting the seal of approval from us here at AIPT Comics. If you enjoyed the video, like, share, subscribe, do all those cool things. Check us out at adventuresinpoortaste.com, AIPTcomics.com if you prefer the brief. And yeah, we'll catch you next time when we do one of these Lego builds. Take care, guys. Enjoy Avengers Endgame.